Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mulakan kelas kita pada pagi ini dengan membaca ummul kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, arrahmanirrahim, maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala sayidina Muhammadin asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajmain. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, ampunkanlah dosa-dosa kami, ampunkanlah dosa kedua ibu bapa kami dan kasihilah mereka sebagaimana mereka mengasihi kami di masa kecil. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang bermanfaat untuk diri kami, keluarga kami, agama kami, bangsa kami dan negara kami. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, berilah kepada kami kejayaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, jadikanlah kami orang-orang yang bersyukur. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, kita bersyukur kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala pada pagi ini kita dapat meneruskan kelas kita, kelas yang keempat, kelas yang keempat. Dan pada pagi ini, yang pertama sekali kita nak buat adalah kita nak ambil attendance, ya. Jadi saya akan sebutkan nama dan awak sebut saya, ya. Okey, yang pertama Ahmad Imran.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Muhammad.
Saya.
Okey. Muhammad Haziq.
Saya.
Okey. Nur Ardini.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Nur Hazikah Diana.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Reza Arifin.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Zai Amirul Azim.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Aina Safia.
Saya.
Okey. Hatira.
Saya.
Okey. Maria Khairisha.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Muhammad Amir Iqbal. Tak ada. Muhammad Amar.
Saya, sir.
Okey. Muhammad Faris Iqbal.
Saya.
Okey. Nur Alia Syafika.
Saya.
Okey. Nur Atika. Tak ada. Nur Batrisha.
Saya.
Okey. Nur Salwani.
Saya.
Okey. Siti Farhana. Siti Hazika.
Saya.
Syahira.
Saya.
Nur Fikriyah.
Saya.
Muhammad Ashraf.
Saya.
Muhammad Adam. Tak ada. Okey, so kita akan sambung. Kita berhenti pada soalan common test. Soalan common test pada hari itu. So kita akan sambung daripada situ, ya. Betul, si?
Betul, sir.
Okay, so kita akan discuss tentang ini. Aidil Berhad is undertaking research and development project to identify radically different poisons to control pests. For the year ended 31st December 2019, the company had incurred a total of 1.5 million on its research and development activity. Out of that amount, 500,000 was for research on variety of chemical compositions on various pests. Believing that the project would be successful, Ideal embarked on the development phase. On 1st January 2020, Ideal proceeded with the development phase. For the year ended 31st December 2020, an additional development cost incurred to complete the project was 700,000, which include a market research cost of 52,000 conducted in November 2020. The market research indicated that there is a large market for the new poison. Production and sales of the new product began in January 2021, and the product is expected to be in the market for 10 years. The company adopts a revaluation model for its intangible assets. On 1st January 22, the fair value of the capitalized development cost was 1,612,000. Okay, so inilah cerita berkaitan dengan research and development. Okay, what are the questions? Question number 1. Explain the accounting treatment for the research and development cost for the year ended 31st December 2019. And number 2, show the journal entry to record the transaction for the year ended 31st December 2022. Okay, so what we can say in 2020 and 2019? 2019 and 2020. Okay, what happened in 2019? The company incurred 1.5 million on research and development activity. Okay, according to the question, 500,000 for research. Okay, but 1 million not mentioned. Okay, so what we are going to do with the 500,000? What is this 500,000? Is it a research expenses, or is it a development cost?
Research expenses.
Research, it is a research because clearly mentioned in the question, it is research. What we are going to do with the research cost?
Expense of
in the statement of profit or loss immediately. Okay. What happened to the other one? 1 million.
expense of the
1 million expense of. Expense of or capitalized?
expense of
What expense of?
capitalize.
Why capitalized?
Sebab dia believe boleh successful.
They believe the project would be successful. Okay. Jadi untuk itulah kadang kita baca ni kita rasa macam sekejap macam this is research, this is development. Tapi kita tengok, kita baca betul-betul, dekat situ dia kata 500 for research. Okay, the balance is for development. Jadi dia kata bila dia believe that the project would be successful, Ideal embark on the development first. Masa tu belum lagi tahun 2020. Okay, maknanya masih lagi tahun 2019. Okay. Kemudian, what happened in 2020? In 2020 ada additional 700,000. Ya, 700,000, tetapi out of 700,000, 52,000 is for research. So we have to exclude this 52,000 from 700,000. Yang tinggal adalah 648. Okay, 648 will be added to the existing development cost of 1 million. Jadi sekarang ni kita ada 1648. 1648. Okay. Follow kelas? Follow tu sampai tahun 2020 Kemudian the market research indicated that there is a large market for the new poison. Kemudian the product began on 1st January 2021. The product is in the market the market and it will be in the market for 10 years. Jadi bermula daripada tahun 2021 kita kena amortize. Okay. So soalannya tadi, explain the accounting treatment and show the journal entries. Okay. So saya akan show dia punya cadangan jawapan. Okay. The cost of 500,000 incurred for research is written off to SOPL in the year 2019 because there is uncertainty with regard to the flow of future economic benefit to the entity. Meanwhile, the cost incurred amounted to 1 million. That is 1.5 million minus 500,000 qualified as development expenditure. The carrying amount of the development cost on 31st December 2019 is 1 million. In the year 2020, the development expenditure of 648,000 incurred in 2020 can be capitalized as intangible asset since the project meets the capitalization criteria. The market research of 52,000 should be written off to SOPL. Alright. Okay, kemudian journal entry Journal entry ini adalah to record the what? What happened in 2022. 2022. Jadi pada tahun 2021 sekejap Okay, I continue. For the year ended 31st December 2022, the journal entry. Okay, what happened in 2022? According to the question just now, what happened in 2022? In 2022, dia kata produk dia dah mula dijual pada 1 Januari 2021. Maknanya kita dah boleh amortize pada tahun 2021. We can start amortizing in year 2021. Sekarang ni kita nak catat year 2022. So on 1st January, kan, on 1st January dia ada apa? Ada revaluation, kan? Ada revaluation. Jadi kita kena apa dia? Kita kena reverse balik ataupun kita kena eliminate kita punya accumulated amortization, kan? Kita kena eliminate ataupun kita kena reverse kita punya accumulated amortization. Berapa nilai amortization kita? Amortization kita nilai dia adalah 1648. 1648 bagi dengan 10. Bagi dengan 10. Jadi 164,800 ni kita dah debit amortization, credit accumulated amortization. So on 1st January 2022, we have to reverse back. Kita reverse back dan kita debit accumulated amortization and credit intangible asset. Credit intangible asset. Ni bukan franchise ni. Okay, intangible asset. Amount dia 164,800. Okay. And then the carrying amount the carrying amount of the intangible asset, the carrying amount of the intangible asset on 1st January adalah 1483,200. 1483,200, sedangkan dia punya fair value adalah 1612. 1483,200 ni mana dapat? Dia adalah 1648 tolak 164800. Dia jadi 1483,200 tolak 1612,000 minus 1483,200. So kita dapat 128,800. Okey. Dan last sekali adalah the new amortization for the year. New amortization for the year, because the fair value is 1612,000. The accumulated amortization is 1612,000 divided by 9 years. That is equal to 179,111. Okay, class? Follow? Boleh follow?
Boleh.
Boleh Okay, so boleh follow, maknanya tak ada soalan lah. Okay, alright. Kita pergi pada soalan berikutnya yang saya baru bagi pagi ini. Okay. Kita share soalan tu, kita tengok So kita nak biasakan tengok soalan test sebab yang test akan diadakan pada minggu yang ke-6 lepas raya. So kita tengok dulu soalan test, lepas tu kalau sempat kita tengoklah soalan final. Soalan final lambat lagi. Final ada 12 minggu lagi. So kita tengok soalan Mei 23. Okay, question May 23. It is about Daud Berhad. On 1st January 2020, Daud Berhad acquired a website for an online shop called Lasopi for 200,000. Okay, so acquired. We come across the word acquired. What is the meaning of acquired?
Purchase.
Yes, purchase ataupun buy. Jadi kalau acquired ni memang ada invoice dia dan dia memang entitled for recognition as intangible asset sebab the cost can be measured reliably. Okay, dia beli apa? A website. Boleh tak website ni jadi intangible asset? Okay, jawapan dia boleh. Dia beli apa? Website for an online shop called Lasopi. Lasopi ni sebenarnya Shopee dah. Dia tukar nama jadi Lasopi for 200,000. Lasopi is an online shop where orders can be placed on it. Due to the lockdown of COVID-19 pandemic, Lasopi was performing well in year 2020 and 2021, where the fair value of Lasopi was 168,000 on 31st December 2021. However, the fair value of Lasopi decreased to 100,000 on 31st December 2022 because of stiff competition with other online and physical shops. The useful life of Lasopi is estimated at 8 years and revaluation model is adopted. Okay, jadi bermula pada 2020, 2021 dan 2022. Okay, soalan dia, required number 1. List choices of subsequent measurement model for intangible asset according to MFRS 138. Apakah choices yang kita ada? Apakah model yang kita ada untuk kita gunakan?
Cost model.
Cost model and
Evaluation model.
revaluation model. Good. Okay, habis. Dapatlah 2 markah. Number 2, explain the accounting treatment for website for the year ended 31st December 2020 and 2021. So, 2020 dia beli. Okay, 2021. 2021 dia ada revaluation. 4 markah. So, apa yang kita nak cerita? Explain the accounting treatment for 2020 and 21. in 2020 can be recognized as an intangible asset?
Can.
Can. At the cost of 200,000. Okay, kemudian kita akan amortize dia over how many years?
2.
8 years.
8 years at an amount of
25,000.
25,000 per year. Okay. Jadi kita dah ada berapa tadi? Kita recognize sebagai intangible asset at the cost of 200,000. Kemudian kita amortize over 8 years. Kemudian amount dia 25,000. Apa lagi yang kita boleh tulis? Kita boleh kata dia punya amount, carrying amount adalah 200,000 minus 25,000. Iaitu 175,000. Itu sampai end of 2020. Okay. Kemudian in year 2021, kita amortize lagi. Amortize for 25,000 and the carrying amount is 150,000. Alright. At that time, 31st December 2021, the fair value is 168,000 while the carrying amount is 150,000 and we are using the revaluation model. What we are going to do? We are going to what?
Value.
We are going to revalue by way of comparing the carrying amount and fair value. We are comparing carrying amount just now is 150,000. The fair value is 168,000. So there will be a surplus or deficit on revaluation.
Surplus.
Saya dengar jauh ada orang sebut surplus. Ya, betul kita ada surplus. Ya, kita ada surplus. Betul ke ada orang sebut surplus tadi?
Betul.
Betul surplus on revaluation. Okay, we compare 168 dengan 150 ada perbezaan sebanyak 18,000. Okay. Kemudian kita punya new carrying value adalah 168,000. Okay. Itu untuk nombor 2. Nombor 3, calculate the surplus or deficit on revaluation for the year ended 31st December 2022. 2022 pula kita akan amortize berdasarkan kepada new carrying amount. New carrying amount tadi 168 bagi dengan 8 tahun. Kan? 168 bagi 8 tahun. Kita akan dapat amortization. 168 minus amortization. Kemudian kita compare dengan fair value 100,000. Okay. Lepas tu kita akan dapat deficit ataupun surplus. Ya. Cuba bayangkan surplus ke deficit. Sebelum kita tengok jawapan. Kita akan dapat deficit. Ya, very good deficit. Berapa amount dia?
40,000.
Okey, ini adalah tadi. Betul ke soalan ni? Macam lain je. Filosofi. Okey, betul. Okey. Dah terlebih ke bawah okey. So inilah dia jawapan dia. Kita tengok dulu soalan yang nombor 3 ya. Okey. Last OP tadi kita betul lah tadi dapat surplus on revaluation yang pertama tu untuk 2021. Kemudian revalued amount is 168,000. Accumulated amortization is for 1 year only 28,000. Carrying value is 140,000. Kemudian it was revalued to 100,000. So there is a deficit of 40,000. Deficit of 40,000. Okey, untuk yang accounting treatment tadi kita tengok sikit. Okey. The acquired website can be recognized as intangible asset at the cost of 200,000. Sama macam kita sebut tadi. It will be amortized over 8 years for 25,000. The carrying amount is 175,000. 2021 amortization 25,000 also charged to SOPL. The carrying amount is 150,000. The fair value is 168,000. We compare and then resulted a revaluation surplus of 18,000. This amount is credited to asset revaluation reserve account. Accumulated amortization is eliminated and the new carrying amount is 168,000. Okay. Alright. Kita teruskan lagi dengan soalan yang bahagian B. Soalan B dan C. Soalan B. Soalan B 2 markah saja. Mali Kundi. Mali Kundi is the name of the company. It's an internally developed brand with an estimated cost of 100,000. It is doing well in the market. The directors of Mali Kundi are surprised that there is no value for the Mali Kundi brand in the statement of financial position. Explain the directors about the accounting treatment for the above brand according to MFRS 138. Okay, jadi apa yang berlaku kat sini? Director ni dia kata, why our brand is not in the statement of financial position? Can you explain to me? Okay, so can anybody explain about this? Anybody? Kita panggil siapa ya? Faris, boleh Faris?
Ya.
Boleh jawab soalan saya tadi. Kenapa kita tak recognize brand? Mali Kundi kata, kenapa Mali Kundi ni tak ada dalam kita punya statement of financial position? Boleh jawab Faris?
Tak dapat.
Tak dapat?
Ah.
Nur, okey. Muhammad Haziq? Haziq.
Yes, sir.
Boleh jawab?
Tak boleh nak recognize apa tadi?
Tak boleh nak recognize. Sebab apa?
Sebab dia no value.
Ya?
Sebab dia no value.
No value? Ada
Brand
value?
dia,
Ada value 100,000?
tapi dekat yang second tu, the director Mali Kundi surprised that there is no value for the Mali Kundi brand.
Betul lah. Dalam dia tanya kenapa tak ada value tu. Kenapa tak recognize soalan dia. Jawapan dia tak boleh recognize tu betul lah. Tapi sebab apa? Sebab apa tak boleh recognize? Nur Hazikah? Nur Hazikah ada di sini ke tidak? Siti Farhana? Tak ada. Syahira? Semua tak menjawab ni. Reza?
Yes, sir.
Okey. Kenapa kita tak boleh recognize?
Saya rasa sebab dia tak ada future economic benefit kot.
Tak ada future economic benefit. Ya. Okey, itu salah satu daripada reason dia. Sebenarnya brand tu adalah internally generated. According to MFRS 138, it prohibit the recognition of internally generated brand. Tidak dibenarkan because betul lah tadi you kata tak nampak pun dia punya future economic benefit. But reason yang agak kukuh lagi adalah we cannot separate the cost of developing the brand and the cost of developing the business as a whole. Kita tak boleh nak pisahkan. Kita tak boleh nak pisahkan. Haziq letak tanda apa? Good. Okay, so itulah jawapan dia. Jadi kita cubalah setiap kali ada soalan tu kita cuba fikirkan jawapan dia. Okay, Kemudian soalan yang berikutnya. Okay. Selepas tengok Malikundi, kita tengok pula soalan yang bawah ni. Seputih salju. Seputih salju has spent a few years developing a novel cream that effectively treats hormonal acne without consuming any oral antibiotic. The project began in January 2020 and 2.6 million was spent on it. Dia bermula pada 1 Januari 2020, 2.6 million spent on it by the end of 31 December 2020. From January until December, 2.6 million. Seputih salju had made substantial progress on the development of the cream in 2020. But the company is still not confident. Still not confident ni adalah an indication that there is no future economic benefit. Maknanya, walaupun dia dah buat macam-macam pada tahun 2020 masih tak confident lagi. Tak confident means does not meet the recognition criteria. With the project commercial viability, after a lot of improvement were made, Seputih Salju Berhad management assessed that all recognition criteria of an intangible asset had been met on 1st January 2021. Jadi 2020 tak nampak lagi walaupun dah spend 2.6 million. Tetapi 2021, starting from 1st January, dia nampak future economic benefit dan lain-lain lah. Yang 6 kriteria tu. Seputih Salju incurred additional cost of 600,000 on project in 2021. The acne cream was released on the market in early January 2022. Seputih Salju cream is expected to be available in the market for 5 years. Okay, so tahun dia 2020 dan 2021. Required. Explain the accounting treatment for the development of the cream for the year 2020 to 2022. Ensure journal entries to record the transaction for the year ended 31 December 2020 up to 2022. Okay, 8 markah dan 5 markah. So, what we want to say about 2020, 2021, 2022 about the development project ni? 2020, 2.6 million, can we recognize?
Cannot.
Why? It does not meet the recognition criteria. Okay. Kemudian in 2021. Can the company recognize 600,000? Boleh tak? Dia kata all the recognition criteria of intangible asset had been met on 1st January 21. So can we recognize 600,000?
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. Okay. And then the product was released in the market in early January. So in January 2022, it was released in the market and it will be for 5 years. So in 2022, what we want to do? Apa kita nak buat? Bila product
Amortize.
amortize, yes. Jadi kita tengok step by step. Mula-mula we cannot recognize 2.6 million, and then we can recognize 600,000, and then we are going to amortize when the product is available in the market. So kita menjawablah soalan satu tu. Tetapi 8 markah. Yang macam tadi tu kita jawab 3 ayat saja. So 3 ayat tu tidak mencukupi, ada amortization semualah kat situ. Okay. So saya akan sharekan dia punya suggested solution. Untuk B tadi, internally development brand cannot be capitalized as intangible asset in the statement of financial position because the cost cannot be separated from the cost of developing the business as a whole. Walaupun begitu, jawapan awak tadi yang cannot be associated with future benefit pun boleh diterima juga. Alright. C. In 2020, the cost incurred in 2020 cannot be capitalized as development expenditure because there is uncertainty with regard to commercial viability. Dia kata dia tak confident. Uncertain lah. Of the new acne cream. The cost 2.6 million should be written off to SOPL. Alright. In 2021, the cost incurred amounted to 600,000 qualified as development expenditure and should be capitalized. As the project has met all the capitalization criteria ataupun recognition criteria on 1st January 2021. In year 2022, since the cream was launched in early January 22, the capitalized cost of 600,000 must be amortized over 5 years period. The amortization amount is 120,000. Okay. Expense of in SOPL and the carrying amount as at 31st December 2022 is 480,000. Okay. Alright. Last sekali, journal entry to record the transaction. Journal entry to record all transactions for the year ended. Okay. 2020, 2021, 2022. So in 2020, we are going to debit development expenses 2.6 million, credit cash or bank or payable. In 2021, we debit development expenditure in SOFP and credit cash or bank or payable 600,000. And in 2022, we debit SOPL for amortization amounting to 120,000. Ya, 120,000. Okey kelas, ada apa persoalan?
No, sir.
Tak ada soalan? Okay, tak ada soalan. So kita minggu depan kita akan belajar tajuk baru, iaitu tajuk Agriculture Biological Asset. Jadi sambil-sambil menunggu masa minggu depan tu, bolehlah awak cuba tengok soalan. Soalan final exam sebenarnya 15 markah saja. Kita tengok sikit, mungkin tak sempat nak jawab tapi sempat tengok soalan. Soalan final exam pada semester lepas. Soalan nombor 2. Okey. Jadi soalan dia sama je dengan soalan yang test tadi. State to subsequent measurement model. Kebetulan benda ni kebetulan sama. Jadi bukan tiap-tiap kali soalan dia mesti ini. Kemudian soalan B, dia 15 markah saja. 15 markah Soalan B apa dia? Yus Berhad has been in business for 5 years selling a variety of product under different brand names. One of the famous brand is the thermal tumbler Smart TSO. The company completed developing a new product called Smart TSO 2, a new version of the thermal tumbler made of 304 stainless steel, safe, durable and lightweight due to favorable market demand. The expenditure incurred for Smart TSO 2 for the year ended 31 December 2023 is as follows. Okay, so kita adalah all the expenses, market research, market testing, further research cost, development cost, depreciation of machinery using for development of smart TSO, and launching cost. Okay. Jadi pada banyak-banyak ni mana yang kita boleh capitalize? Market research boleh tak?
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Market testing?
Tak boleh.
Further research cost?
Boleh.
Tak
tak boleh.
boleh. Nama research. Okay. Development cost? Boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh lah kan. Nama pun development cost. Depreciation on machinery used for developing smart TSO? Boleh? Tak boleh? Boleh Launching cost? Boleh tak? Launching cost?
Boleh kot.
Launching cost tak boleh. Sebab dia dah selesai. Launching cost ni adalah apabila telah selesai maka dia akan available in the market. Jadi launching ni adalah apa bahasa Melayu launching ni? Launch. Tapi tak ingat mana dia dalam bahasa Melayu. Pelancaran. Pelancaran. Kos pelancaran tak termasuk dalam intangible asset. Jadi 132 and 23 only. Okay. Next. On 1st January 23, Youth entered into a contract acquiring a franchise. Ini cerita franchise pula. Yang kedua, from Mok D Ice Cream for 200,000. The franchise agreement is valid for 10 years. At the same time, the company incurred 100,000 for the equipment and furniture for the franchisor. Additional cost of 20,000 and 30,000 for promotion and staff recruitment were also incurred respectively. The company also has another product line sold under different brand name, Montugo, which was acquired on 1st January 31 at the cost of 500,000. The brand has an economic life of 5 years. However, as of 31st December 23, there was a significant decline in cash flow due to similar product in the market by the rival competitor. A review has determined that the present value of future cash flow is at 30% of the initial cost and the expected selling price less cost to sell is 130,000. Okay. Jadi inilah yang saya nak awak cuba tengok. Maknanya sebelum kita mula tajuk nombor 2 pada minggu depan, kita tengok dulu soalan ni. Okay. Assess accounting treatment, determine relevant journal entry. Okay. So ini saja. Ini saja untuk hari ini. InsyaAllah kita jumpa lagi pada minggu depan dengan tajuk baru dan juga sedikit discussion tentang soalan inilah. Ya. Ada apa-apa soalan sebelum kita bersurai?
Tak ada sir.
Tak ada. Okey. So kalau tak ada kita bersurailah. Kita sudahi dengan surah Wal-Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asri innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.